Alright folks, here's a little insight for you. What would happen, or what do you think will begin to happen if you decided to change or replace, let's say, replace the word failure with learning? So, why do I bring this up? Because you'd think, well, failed that one, right? Having a go here on the little troll burner. Charcoal. I missed out a word, didn't I? Okay. Or hot bead. This thing's great. Some modifications going on in there. Underneath that is the actual serving tray. But it makes a great tray for the hot beads. And better flow, circulation, all that. The thing's singing along quite well. Next will be a modified chimney here, and then cut a ring off the top of that so it can sit a pot for the billy tea, things like this. So the next is figuring out a way how to cook that, turn that into a better way to cook this, a little pizza oven. Right, so we've got that out of the way. That's the context, or how did I derive to this thinking. Here we go. And I was thinking, oh man, that's failed. Right, that didn't work. And then I thought, hang on, it's all about learning, right? Learning how to do it better. And I was thinking to myself, let's do a little video about this, share it out there into the world, because maybe you might have given up like I've given up on, like I was once at the mental state of giving up on things, okay, because I failed. And then that was the gatekeeper of any other experiences that were there for me to have. But because I sat in previous failings, because I allowed myself to sit in the experiences that, listen to this one, that no longer existed, that involved failures, I, until this moment in time, have been denying myself future experiences which may contain potential failures. But here we are, learning how to replace that word and then attaching a what if. What if you replace the word failure with learning or lessons? And I could go, well, it took me 2 learnings to get this pizza right. Obviously, this is learning number 1. And then the next time around, in this learning, I'll adapt a better system and then see how that pizza goes. And if that doesn't work out, I'll be, well, that's learning number 2. You with me? So let's bring up some things that may stir the heart, all right, stir the sediment of dormant emotions. Relationships, jobs. Like I said, bypassing the gatekeeper of yourself, sitting in experiences that no longer existed, that no longer exist, that once were, that involved then experience around, insert new word, learnings, old word, failure, because it has such a heavy negative connotation to it. I believe that's the correct word to use. If not, you're more than welcome to insert correct word. But that makes absolute sense to me. Does it to you? Not sure. Leave a comment. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, right? Yeah. So even saying it took me two lessons to get that right. It took me two learnings to get that right. It took me 20 learnings to get that right. Yeah, it takes on a different enthusiasm, doesn't it? Just the word change, even in the self. Maybe it's because I'm sharing this in a state of realization. And this boat is definitely, oh, this boat is going to, is the word exude a plethora of learnings. So that'll be beneficial to me and then advantageous for me to come at it that way, from that perspective, to approach. There's a lesson there. Oh, there's some learning over there. And just in that already, I get the sense of, that's how I'll be able to bypass what once was, oh man, that's going to be a job. See, straight away, as I'm coming down, I'm weighing myself down with an anticipation of doing something. So I'm already going into a task with a like a victim mentality, or a failing mentality, failing mindset, instead of, look, watch my. I'm not bunging it on. Uh, it may come across, but even just to say, oh, there's going to be some learnings over there. There's going to be some failures over there. You know straight away to do that. There's a sarcasm behind it. But to say, there's going to be some learning over there. My weight's shifted. My energy has shifted. I'm actually coming from a higher perspective, and that which is in front of me is now below me. Whereas before, or yeah, before, when I came from that failing mindset, that which was ahead of me was above me, and that's what may create the illusion of it being a struggle, of being it too hard, of being something that I once kept dismissing. And that may be resonating with you, and it has to. It has to, because I'm not the only one who's gone through this. There's plenty of people who have been through this, and that's how we're able to relate with other people's stories who have surpassed. And perhaps my content's not triggy dicky and all flamboozled and razzle dazzle to get people's attention. It's just brutally, you could say brutally, real, authentic, raw, genuine. And if you're willing to overcome the hurrah and the flashy dashy and sparkling of all the other stuff out there, and just tune in, you'll be surprised how much value is actually laced and embedded in this content that I share with you all. Mm. Well, it was a pizza, now it's a burnt calzone, isn't it? But we're learning. I'm eating or learning. Nutrition to the body, somewhat, isn't it? Small macros. But this right here is some vitamins and minerals for your mind. So I wonder, I already know, I already get an immediate alteration in applying and even speaking and sharing with you a replacement. Because to replace is to replace. That which once was no longer is, because it's been replaced. But if I was to say change, there's almost like an anchoring or a small tether, a line, a tethering to that which once was through the change. I got to change, or I need to change. Instead, or what if I replace this habit with that habit, or I replace my thinking, or I replace this word with that word. And at the end of the day, it's the classic, what have you got to lose? If you're already in that state of, oh, I'm losing, then you might as well have a go. So whatever's ahead of you, like I said, a relationship or something might turn up, and you might be, which I've been at this mindset that, well, I'll never have another relationship again because I've just failed at too many. But in that, by being probably a little ignorant in that thinking, all the lessons that were laced in all those previous relationships were all there for me to learn from and elevate my ability, so that when the next woman comes along and gives me the privilege of sharing her reality, that I can honor that better, and that I can look after that better, and that also there's a better me that she gets to witness and experience. So to think of things in a failing or from a failed mindset, it closes off what it is that you need to learn to surpass the failing. How about that? So back to me burnt calzone, was previously a pizza, and we'll be getting on with some woodwork today. But I thought I'd just stop in while I'm having smoko and share that with you. That what if you just decided today that whatever you've been failing at, that you just looked at it and go, okay, they were learnings, let me learn from them, and then remind yourself that those experiences that once were no longer are, so there's no need to sit in them anymore or relive that which now no longer is. But it just take what was the learning there, go back and replace that moment where you go, oh, I failed that, I should have done this better, if only I'd done that. And I've gone through a lot of that, believe you me, I still do. But then I think, I wouldn't be here, right? I wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't have this hindsight to then be able to share it to with other people. So that's, that's just part of the gig, But moving forward, I can now allow myself to be open to new experiences that want. You imagine that however it works with the cosmos and all of that jazz, and we'll just say someone to make it easier for your imagination or your belief to accept, that someone's out there and they've got a list, and they've got like a bag of experiences for Neil, or a bag of experiences for you, and Tom, Dick, Jane and Harry and all of those wonderful people. Right. Let's say an angel or cosmic spirit soul is assigned to you with all these experiences. And they're like, oh, if only he just starts to get it or she starts to get it, then we can give, like, we've got all these new experiences ready to give to you. Right? We just got to open up the heart and the soul and the spirit. And I believe that comes from going through experiences anyway. And then the learning and getting to an intellect or a level of intelligence where you begin to say, yeah, right, I really am the God of my domain, and it's got a lot to do with how I think. Well, it's probably got everything to do with how I think, and then from that, how I speak, and then how I act, and that could be the Trinity. Right? That could actually be the true Trinity of it all. Thoughts, words, and actions. Imagine the people right now, you included, who have stayed tuned to this little video. Of a fella in a beanie with a beard, with a tradie shirt on, eating a burnt pizza. And I just went bing bang boom with probably the biggest gold nugget, philosophical nugget that you may have ever come across this week, maybe this month, maybe even this year. That the true Trinity in life are those three things: your thoughts, your words, and your actions. And right there is the power that creates every individual's reality. Whoa. Yeah. I'm guruing myself out right now. Who'd have thought, eh? I must have thought it. So, onwards and upwards, 10 degrees up every day. Give it a go. You'll be surprised. Be good, be great, be brilliant, be the best you can. Do whatever you can with whatever you've got to live a better life. See you.